Welcome back to the Gobby Gaffer, and it's part 11 of my time managing Lille over in France. And my word, do I feel a proud Gobby Gaffer surrounded by all of these trophies. There's one missing, however. We'll get into that later. But first of all, by way of a bit of a change, I don't normally do season reviews, but I think we're going to do a season review. So first of all, a little bit of an apology. The quality on these, well, they're actually screenshots. That's why the quality's not that great. But anyway, let's get into it. So I did say there was going to be a little bit more coming from the Champions League, and well, there is. So television revenue, and we got 3.1 million for our share of the pot. And another 10.14 million from the coefficient ranking pool money from the UEFA Champions League. No, I don't understand it either. But you know what? If somebody's giving me 10 million, I'm going to snatch their hand off. Annual revenue makes some nice reading. Sponsorship up from 29 to 36 million. Broadcast revenue very slightly up, 29.65 million. Corporate hospitality very slightly up, 4.52 million. Competition prize money, well, just over doubled, 68 million from 29 million last year. And matchday commercial and retail very slightly up to 2.65 million. And if we just look at shirt sales there, Kamara, my new superstar central midfielder, sold the most shirts. Kramachi, Ngoma, Matos and Windwind following up very closely. And it wouldn't be a season review without a trophy for the Gobby Gaffer. Yep, I won the League One Uber Eats Manager of the season. Very nice indeed. And a little look at the player awards. Ngoma scooped up the Fans Player of the Season and Young Player of the Season. He had an average rating of 7.3. Kramachi was the signing of the season. Obviously, the board thought that he was very good value for money, and he was. Most overall goals, Matos, 23 goals. No surprise there. Most goals by a player in a match, Windwind, who I triggered that extension on. Yes, we've got him for another year, and well, 3 goals in a game. And most player of the match awards this season, it's Ngoma again, who is actually pushing for a call up to the England national squad, and why not? Signings of the season, Matos, we paid 14 million for him. I think he's got a value of about 94 million as we speak. Average rating of 7.2, absolutely brilliant. 24 appearances, 15 goals, 4 assists. That's just in the league, obviously. Runner-up was our right wing-back, Dario. Paid 10.5 million for him. And, well, to be quite honest, I think I've made some absolutely top-notch signings. And with a view to maybe selling 1 or 2 players, I did notice that our retained transfer value was about 70%. And okay, I know we were having difficult times financially, but currently, I'll show you the finances shortly. But currently, we're doing very, very well. So I went in there to ask them for a more retained transfer budget, which they gave me. But I also noticed that I can ask for improved training facilities. And you know what? I think for the first time in my football management career, they actually said yes. So it's going to cost about 5 million, and construction will begin in September of this year, which is 2031 in game, and it's scheduled to be completed. It's just going to take a month. So new training facilities. Hopefully, we should attract new players. And talking of new players, yeah, a little bit of a spoiler before we get into that completely, but this is what the board think about the signings that I've made. Ugotchukwu, I think he's called, 27-year-old midfielder, came in from Chelsea on a free transfer, by the way. C+, 3-star, but we are going to be playing more midfielders this season, so a very good signing. I have signed a new goalkeeper once again. Spoiler: Marco Carnesecchi, 31-year-old commanding goalkeeper. He's a 4-star, and well, he's much better than Dalterio. Well, we hope he is going to be anyway. B+ for that one. And Jared Branthwaite, we'd already agreed this deal, coming in on a free transfer. A 4.5-star centre-back. And we get an A for that one. Excited about the signing. So a nice little bit of information for you about the season just gone, and of course we did win those. Well, I mean the trophies were just rolling in, weren't they? But the money was rolling in as well, and very, very important indeed. We're building new training facilities. They've given me more retained transfer budget, and on that score. As the season ended, I did have quite a few players wanted by other clubs, Bitsiabu being one of them. And I thought, well, okay, we are going to get offers for them clubs. But as the transfer window is now bobbing on, there's only 2 players now who are wanted by other clubs, and neither of them are going to bring big money in. So I don't know what's happened there. Bitsiabu has gone off the wanted list altogether. So me asking for retained transfer money has not really been much use to me because we haven't really sold anybody. But anyway, let's dive in and let's have a look what I've been doing. So we have sold a player, VT, my centre-back, went out for 24 million, but he's really the only player of any note. 1 or 2 players have gone out on loan, and the loan players have gone back to their parent clubs now, but bringing 24 million in. So that added to the 17 million that the board had granted me. You know, some fairly decent money there, but I kind of felt like the squad had been built quite nicely. I had a good look at it, and I just thought, you know what? If we can find a keeper who's world class that will help us in the Champions League, we'll do that. And I think I have found one in Carnesecchi. But what I'd forgotten was I actually organised 3 transfers before the season ended. One of them is a loan player, so we have got a lad called Cordoba coming in as cover on the right wing back. As we know, Football Manager loves to injure all your wing backs. So as many as you've got, they'll injure. We've got 3 on that side now. Do your worst, Football Manager. Okay, let's have a quick run through these. Like I say, not too many incomings because I didn't feel like we needed that many. But anyway, free transfer from Chelsea. 27-year-old French lad, so doesn't need to learn the language, obviously, unlike me. I'm still struggling with it a little bit. Looks a very, very decent player. Plenty of experience, and he's a box-to-box midfielder, so if I decide to go that route, we are going to play with 2 centre-backs, I think, this season. We ended the season like that, and it seemed to work. Having those extra bodies in midfield and pushing forward really see. I always feel in Football Manager that you have to give the opposition something to think about. If you sit back and 3 centre-backs and a DM, it's generally classed as sitting back a little bit, isn't it? So I always feel like on the front foot, you've got a better chance of winning. Doesn't always work, but anyway, so that was the first one. But a free transfer, and absolutely brilliant. Jared Branthwaite, I think I've told you about him already. So in the Media Dream 11, I've had a look at the Media Dream 11, and 10 of the players are all from PSG. The only other one is Jared Branthwaite. So we have a centre-back in the Media Dream 11. Every other player is a PSG player. And of course, I mean, we're playing them very shortly. We'll be watching a game shortly. And it's the Trophée des Champions. So obviously we won the cup and the league. So, and then drops to the second in the league, which was PSG. So we are playing PSG in the Trophée des Champions. And as much as I think I'm building a very good team here and added a little bit of quality to it, of course, PSG will have done that as well. They're a very, very top team. And, well, I personally don't think we're at that stage where we are going to beat them. But you know what? Over a season, if PSG drop points, even if we lose both games to them, if we can pick up more points than they do, we'll win the league again. And you know what? I'm quite happy with that. So yeah, Jared Branthwaite, 6'5", left-footed, and I mean, it speaks for itself. And on a free transfer, I mean, come on, it's got a value now of 81 million. So I have to extend some apologies to Dalterio, who for 1.4 million last season was an absolute brilliant signing. He was actually up there in the, like players of the season and that kind of thing. And I do feel really, really bad. But in football, you can't have sentiment. If you have sentiment in football, you're not going to win anything. So Carnesecchi has come in. He's going to be our first choice goalkeeper. And, 6'3". Just look at his stats. I've done a comparison between him and Dalterio, and there basically is no comparison at all. The only thing that obviously we've got to worry about is that he's Italian, so he may have to learn the language, and also sometimes going for a world-class player in Football Manager or one of the top wonder kids doesn't always work out. You would think it would do, but it doesn't always. So we're going to have to hope that Carnesecchi does a good job this season. But we've still got Dalterio. If he doesn't work out, we can stick Dalterio back in goal. And I did speak in the season and towards the end of the season about bringing a new striker in. We have still got the 3 strikers, so obviously Matos, Lavumbo and Windwind. They're still the 3 strikers that we've got. But I just thought, you know what? Let's bring in somebody who is young, 23-year-old. He's Spanish, so he's got to learn the language. But Julian has come in from Barcelona, and we paid 40 million for him. So I basically used virtually all my transfer budget on one player. This lad better score some goals. But I think, because, Matos is going to score goals, isn't he? Provided we can keep him fit, obviously. But I think Julian, his stats speak for himself, don't they? It's just, he's going to be a terrific player, I think. Hopefully he will be anyway. So the finance is looking better and better and better. 80 million now in the bank. So we still have a loan to service, and the transfer budget is 0 now. We've got 85% of transfer revenue is made available, so it's still not 100%, but we are building a new training ground, so I'll let them off with that one. Wage budget very slightly over, there's like pounds in it, so but 80 million in the bank, and we are in the Champions League again this season, so I expect a whole load more cash coming in, and let's hope we do better this season, win a few games and get those 2.4 millions coming in, and maybe get a bit further, which will bring extra money into the club. I still don't think we're Champions League quality, not for winning it anyway, but if we could get through to the semis or the final, I don't know. Am I pushing my luck a little bit? I hope not. Staffing wise, I have beefed up the staffing. So we brought in a new head physio. I think it's a head physio, a director of football and chief scout. So we have a 4.5 star now at staffing level out of 5. So very, very good. Chief scout, brilliant. Director of football, brilliant. Head physio, brilliant. Even I've jumped to a 3.5 star. And by the way, I've still had no job offers. The only job offer I've had while I've been at Lille, I think, was at the end of my first season here, and I got a job offer from a very lowly Austrian or Turkish team. I can't remember now. Obviously, I turned it down because it would have been a step backwards. But since then, I've won so many trophies. The finances here are looking absolutely brilliant, and yet none of the top European clubs are coming in for me. Maybe I am already at a top European club. Who knows? If we win the Champions League with Lille, then, everybody else can go and do one, can't they? And the board requirements for this season, I'm not going to read them all out. You can read those for yourself. But, I think that it's all very reasonable. And obviously, I always like to exceed the board requirements. So if we can do that, then absolutely brilliant. Well, lots of information to digest there, and while you're doing that, we are actually going to play a game. It's the Trophée des Champions. It's Lille against Paris Saint-Germain. Can we get the season up and running with another trophy, another bit of shiny silverware? I'm running out of room, but I would like to win it, let's face it. Putting one over on PSG early season would be a real good starting point for that season, wouldn't it? I still think PSG are a much better team than we are. Well, they obviously are, aren't they? For instance, I've been looking in the transfer, in the player search, and there's players in there, like even goalkeepers, 215 million. You're looking for like top strikers and midfielders, 240 million. Those are the kind of players that PSG are buying. They've got the money to do it. We haven't, and I personally don't think we ever will. So it's going to be a tough game, but you know what? Let's go in there with hopes high. It's early season, and a bit of shiny silverware would set it off to a brilliant start. We'll see you in the dugout. Well, 2 new faces in the starting lineup today, and but we have got new faces on the bench to bring on. We're not starting Julian today, but we're going to play this style of football initially in the season. Let's see how it goes on. We've got plenty of midfield there. Banicic is out injured, unfortunately. He picked up. You always get one in Football Manager, don't you? It's usually one of the new players that gets a long-term injury. But Banicic picked up an injury. So Kramachi and Kamara are going to run that midfield today. But we have the new goalkeeper, Carnesecchi, in goal. Back four, Loco, Branthwaite, Bitsiabu and Daddario. Gomez is going to play the anchor. Kramachi and Kamara in the midfield. Ngoma, who is turning into an absolutely amazing footballer. He's going to be a star for the England national team without a shadow of a doubt. And Ngoma is going to be the playmaker behind Matos and Windwind, who we've got on that, triggered his extension, and we've got him for another season. And you know what? I think it's a very good deal. When the season kind of got going, I thought, his contract's up, he's getting on a bit. I think we might shunt him out at the end of the season, but he did very, very well for us, and he's a player who plays very, very nicely as a twin striker. So anyway, let's get into the game. Okay, it's not the National Stadium we're playing this at. They picked quite a smallish stadium for it, but anyway, let's hope that we see Carnesecchi. We see a clean pair of hands from him through this game. I'd like him to hit the ground running. And we've done very well in pre-season friendlies. We're on a tour of the United States, and Matos there is absolutely gifted a chance in the 3rd minute. Can't put the ball in the back of the net, but we are on top here. 3 shots, 2 on target. But like I say, hopefully our new goalkeeper will show a clean pair of hands and get his Lille career off to a good start. It's PSG now with the corner, ball's headed out. Christie's going to pick this one up, and like I say, I've not really had a look, but I'm sure PSG will have strengthened this season. Not that they really need to do, because they're a top team anyway, aren't they? And they do go 1-0 ahead with that, and that's a bit of a shame, because it seemed as though we'd started the game very, very well on the front foot, and but we've come from 1-0 down before. Let's just have a quick look at this. And was this a goalkeeping fault? I mean, to be honest, probably a bit unsighted there, and it was whipped in, wasn't it, with pace. Mbappe now over the free kick, chips the ball over. Carnesecchi this time just picks that ball up gratefully. Okay, distribution. Let's see what we can do distribution-wise. PSG got a very, very high press on. He has decided to go long, which is not in the tactic, but I don't blame him for doing that. And Kamara there just heads the ball into no man's land. And PSG now winning 1-0 and are coming back at us. So, I was going to say I kind of fear the worst. But you never know, do you really? PSG are obviously still the top team in France, even though we won the league last season. They are still the top team in France, and they're a major force in Europe as well, aren't they? They did very, very well in the Champions League last season. I think they actually they only got knocked out in the semi-final, but we are losing 2-0, and probably not. It's to be expected, isn't it? Really, but it's a bit of a shame. Only half an hour on the clock. And we're not doing very well, are we? Mbappe there, of course. When you've got players like Mbappe and Mwani, they're going to be a threat, aren't they? So early doors there, we did look like we were going to give them a bit of trouble today, but that early gift to Matos that was, he absolutely blazed over the bar. I mean, PSG have had 2 chances and very clinical, put them both away. We had a chance to go 1-0 ahead, and Matos, who is a great player, by the way, you know, maybe the occasion got to him a little bit, I don't know, but absolutely ballooned it over the bar. Gomez now, and we need to just keep hold of the ball here. Let's just play a bit of football, lads. A little bit of football. Let's play a bit of keep ball. Just get a feel for it. I know we're nearly near half time, but we've hardly had a touch, have we? And a ball there to Windwind that is way too heavy. But we have picked up possession again, and is that Mason Greenwood? I don't know, but we've lost possession. Muani striding through now, and Karnasecki does make a good save there. It is a corner. Mbappe throws the corner in. Karnasecki comes out, and a clean pair of hands there, and I think we are going to run into half time. And we are running into half time. I'm just going to give them a disappointed. I don't want angry. It's first. Well, it's not even first game of the season, is it? Really? I mean, I think most countries kind of treat this. It's a bit like our Charity Shield, isn't it? Really. You know, they take it as a bit of a friendly. But anyway, yeah, we're disappointed. We have got some very tired players, weirdly, and I'm not quite sure why that is. And let's make some changes. There's nothing lost, is there, really? Let's do that. We're going to make 4 changes at half time. The new player can come on there, Ugotchukwu, and we will bring Julian on up front in place of Windwind, and he can play advance forward. Okay, let's give that a go. So, 46 minutes on the clock. We do get a touch on the ball here. Hamza into the box, and that one's very, very easily cleared. So we're not putting up much of a fight here, are we? The PSG have got all of the ball, all of the technical skills, and the highlights are all PSG just striding forward, cutting through us at will. Hamza Barron, though, does show, you know, some little bit of endeavour there. Bitsiabu now in defence. New lad there. I'm going to have to give him a shortened name, I think, because I don't think I'm going to be able to remember his name. Ball's in the back of the net, and we are losing 3-0 to PSG. Not the start I wanted, but it's early season. We have new players in, and playing a little bit of a newish formation, so we have to get used to that. But you know, as a manager, I'm kind of thinking forward to like Champions League, and PSG are going to be the standard of team we're going to face in the Champions League, and we're getting absolutely battered at the moment, 3-0. We're not even giving them a game. We've had 3 shots, 2 on target since about the 10 minutes, and we've not increased on that. Not doing well at all in this game. Santos now down that left-hand side. And I think it's a little bit late in the game now to be having the ball and showing a bit of endeavour. Julian does get a goal there. Don't know whether that's going to be given or not. Looks like he was onside. Lille turn on the style, apparently, the commentary is saying. It's a pity we didn't turn on the style when Matos had that chance early doors, because that would have been 3-2 now. But a nice finish by Julian. Nice work there between Matos and Julian. Let's hope that continues for the season. But it's as you were, back to PSG, controlling the ball. And I'm a bit surprised they've not had a penalty, to be honest. That's usually Football Manager's way. Can we get a second goal here and make it look a little bit more respectable? And this high press that PSG have got on, I'm kind of wondering whether we just shouldn't. A nice bold ball, though. Whether we shouldn't go long ball. Hamza Barron into Agotchukwu. Julian now coming forward with the ball, and this lad's already scored a goal. Poor though, poor. I don't know whether that was bad movement in the box or a poor ball, and Hamza Barron just stands there, watches that pass coming towards him, and then Mbappe says, you know what, if you're not going to go for it, I'll go for it, and get us going on an attack. Mbappe's going to slide that in, isn't he? Oh no, we've defended it well. Corner for PSG. So I've just made a few alterations to the tactic. We are going long ball now. This high press that PSG are on, we need to try and bypass that if we can. But half an hour left. Can we get a second goal? Cromartie tired, brings Sotelo on. That's the last change that can be made now. And well, PSG have certainly given us a game today. I don't like losing any game, but you know, early doors when you're losing a game to PSG, it doesn't really set the tone for the season very well, does it? But it is early doors. Let's see how it goes. And we seem to have nullified them a little bit now, or maybe PSG have just stepped off the gas. They are winning the Trophée des Champions, and that's a shame because although I am running out of room on my office wall, and I don't really want to see PSG lifting a trophy. Can we get rid of that? Thanks very much. Yeah, we are angry now. We're very angry about that. We just did not turn up there at all. Well, I suppose the complete opposite of the last episode, because in that episode we won both games and we picked up 2 trophies. So very, very nice indeed. This episode, there's been a lot of information to impart, so you know, all of that's got to sink in, hasn't it? But I just thought it was useful information, and then of course we played PSG. First game of the season, Trophée des Champions. I think it's a bit like our Charity Shield. So a 3-1 loss in that. But, I mean, I've known teams, Premier League teams, lose the Charity Shield and go on to win the league. And I'm actually a fan of one of them. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Loads of information there. Hope it was interesting information and you've not all turned off in your droves. And, well, we can see what we're up against. PSG, obviously they've strengthened. They've still got Mbappe firing on all cylinders. I don't know how old he is in 2031, but he must be getting on a little bit, mustn't he? I'm going to go off camera now, probably play a few games, and then we'll come back with the season underway and see how we're doing. Hopefully a bit better than we did against PSG. We'll see you very shortly.